action.
When did the two of you decide, and what made you decide to do a Nutcracker?
Oh, we went to see New York City Ballet do the Nutcracker, and we were taken back by it so well. And I think you and Natalie were there with us. We went the first time, and it was just overwhelming. I've always wanted to do things for children or with that kind of a about story or something like that, and especially at Christmas time. And I had seen parts of it, but never had seen the whole thing. And we went to see it. We took our two daughters to see it. And we were just taken back by the whole thing. And when we left there, we both looked at each other and said, we're going to do this. Because we wanted to do something like this in Williamsport, because it's not like going to a ballet recital and doing dance after dance after dance. It's a story, and with beautiful music, and we decided this was it, we are going to do this. And it was hard, especially at the very beginning. There was a lot to think about. And then we finally did get, for the first 2 years, it was kind of like a Nutcracker suite, which means it's part of it, not the whole thing. And we had to grow. And we did I think 2 years at the YWCA in their big gym, and we performed at the one end. And we saw what we could do, and we thought, we're going to grow. And we did. And then we got too big and got it put all together. So when we went to Loyalsock High School. And we continued there for years. I can't remember how many now. But it allowed us to become practically the whole thing. And then we outgrew that. And from there, we went to South Williamsport High School. And we were there for quite a few years. And that was really, really special. And when we were there, after it was over, the one day, one of the women, Ann Myers and Sue Kramer, came up to me afterward. They had taken my women's ballet classes, and they came up to us and they said, we'd like to help you. You are doing so much, you're covering it all by yourselves, the two of you, and you need help. And we would love to be part of it. And I said, well, how do you suggest you take over? And they said, we'll get a ballet guild. And we have people that have already agreed to be part of it. And we're going to do a ballet guild, and that's what happened. And then we got so much more help because we were working everything at the time. And after that, from there, when we got growing, then from there we went to the Capitol Theater at that time. And we met Mr. Carducci, and he met Tom, and he got very involved because the theater was basically for motion pictures at the time. And he wanted to be another kind of theater. He wanted live, and he was very interested in us. And he would call Tom, my boy, I'll help you. And so we ended up at the Capitol Theater, and then we had a ballet guild behind us. And I wanted to meet him, and Tom says, I want you to meet him. So we went to the theater, and we walked in, and there's this little man, and he was down on his knees with marking pens, coloring the carpet down through the seats because it had been left go, and he wanted to, and that's what he wanted. And there he was, and he stood up, and that's how I met him. And his wife had a beauty school up on the 3rd floor, and he had the theater below it, and it was very, very special. And that's how we grew. And then it became a community arts center, and then there was money behind them. And from there, we had to go to the Scottish Rite for a year or two, I think, because they were remodeling the whole place. And we were there for 2 years. And then after that, we went back, and that's been our home all these years until last year. That's our place. And we became part of their situation, and the stage crew got to know us well. And towards the end, we could walk in with our truck with all our things, and I think Rob Bond helped us. But other than that, the stage crew came, and they took care of everything. And the one stage crew, I can't remember his name, he wanted to make us, what do we have it? For the snowflake scene, the ramps, make ramps for us for the snowflake scene, and they did that, and the lighting kept getting better and better. And we had our snowflakes scene, and it was good, but they decided they could make it better, so we really had snowflakes. And thank goodness, the snow scene is, and then you have intermission, because then they came out in the floor and swept all the snow that they threw down. But it was very beautiful. We were very fortunate with the group of people we worked with. Yes, yes.
What was the smallest, how many were in the company to begin with, like the first Nutcracker, compared to in the end? It grew from what to what?
Oh dear. I would think maybe we had 30 at the beginning, and we had a lot of younger ones. I would say that we had like maybe 6, 7-year-olds to fill it out for the children, the scene and all. And our older dancers were still maturing and growing, and so that's why there were scenes that we did not do for a while, but we worked through it. And then I think our biggest one was like 72 that were performing at one time. And then lately it's not quite, it wasn't as big, because I found this out in the studios that we teach in. Besides, there's so many things for dancers to do that sometimes they're not as committed as they used to be, and you can hear that in any situation, that they're not committed enough, and it's hard to get those 20 snowflakes or whatever you want to work on that level, because that's talking somewhere between 3 to 5 classes, a week, to be strong enough to do what they do. Yeah.
What is it like to work together as a family in a business?
I love it. It's the best thing that could be. Yes, both of our daughters were part of it, and it was just they grew with it, and well, we couldn't have done it without them. Our one daughter left us, and right now she's in Germany performing, but at least she was always been by our side most of the time. She was in New York for a while dancing, so we didn't have her all the time, but most of the time it worked. And now, thank goodness she's here, because this is the part where we start to slow down a little bit, or a lot.